Hello, can you hear me now? How's that? Can you hear me? Oh, thanks. Okay. So, hey, welcome there, weird ghost friend. Uh, just forward to catch you guys up on what I'm working on today. I'm basically trying to redo what I've been doing for the past day or so because I lost, or maybe I should say that one button wasn't pushed in Blender, and apparently it doesn't save texture work if you don't push one button, which is, I think, a little insane. It's not Van Dyke Brown, but I think Brown might make an appearance here. Uh, so what I'm doing right now is repainting this gardener, and basically trying to remember what I did prior to today, or basically what I've done and how I colored her, and the things I did to her that the way I colored her that I ended up liking. There's some bit of experimentation um, that took place that I thought were nice changes in from the mock-up color mock-up that I did. Um, yeah, so it's quite disappointing that I just kind of lost hours of work, but I think it's not too hard to say that I actually do know how to uh, get back some of my work, especially now that I know how to use the tools in Blender a bit more. Yeah, lost. I lost a good maybe about 4 hours worth of work. Five. Um, Not too bad, seeing as how I actually, a lot of that time I did spend, it was basically just learning how to do this type of work in Blender. Um, but yeah, have you used Blender before? It's there's this weird feature where it's just like hitting a key so that it knows apparently to what it says save this date block even though it has no end users. So miss that button, which apparently saves this texture that I've been working on into the file itself and not just the model, which I think is kind of insane that when you save a file, it doesn't necessarily save uh, all the elements of, of it. So that's just me doing a little rant, knowing that I have to do all this again. But at the same time, it isn't too bad since I know enough of how to get things the way I had them. Uh, the simple stuff isn't too bad, but it's definitely when it comes to smaller detail work that it kind of sucks. As in like the leaves on her back. Oh, frick. Sorry if I just swore on the stream, but I'm just remembering some things that I did do that actually took a long time. So it's actually more than 4 hours worth of work. Um, Currently, my main computer is just sitting there stuck, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it back and get it working without having to restart my computer. But for now, it is definitely just kind of just sitting there, and I don't want to restart it just yet until um, I know that I completely lost everything. Yeah, so just to know what I'm working on, if you haven't caught us before, Weird Ghost Friend, I'm just painting this model of our main character. She's a little old space alien grandma, and so you see, she has her Wellington boots. She has boots on, and nice big backpack that she uses to capture and collect um, different alien plant species. So, yeah, so right now I'm just going through coloring all her, just everything about her again. Like, she had nice white hair. I gotta give her some, she has her Wellington yellow boots. Gotta get some matching work gloves and her big backpack. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's a lot here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot here that I lost. So yeah, the backpack's pretty fun. I wish. Let me actually just see if I can quickly uh, get it quickly colored again. Um, if you can actually, if you actually go to our, if you follow us on like Pinterest. I mean, not Pinterest, on Instagram. You would see some animations of her already, and then there are modeler Maddie Too has been working on, and she's done like an amazing job of just bringing this character to life. Um, I definitely recommend you just searching that up quickly if you can. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this is her. I wish I could have shown you actually what uh, she used to look like up to about an hour ago. Um, but yeah, it's the game itself is coming along pretty swell, and we got a couple other characters in the mix. Some Mugu right now. Maddie's also animating another character for us, which is one of the monsters that will be encountered during the game. Um, let's see this one. Yeah, so the process isn't too bad. I mean, I think from what I've been told and from my experience now that Blender isn't the best program for um, doing color texture work. Uh, it it gets I get by using it, but there's just I always find that using Blender for scripting too. I don't think so. Well, they're using it for animations. Um, for we're using Unity to pull it all together, and I think that's where a lot of the scripting is happening, from my knowledge. Um, um, yeah, um, I'm learning Unity too. I mean, in a way, in the sense of like working, doing some bit of tech, technical art in there, and as in like bringing all the assets and making the levels look nice. Um, I don't do any scripting myself. I don't know how to do that. But it's but working in Unity, if you kind of again, if you scroll back in Instagram and check out some of the images and videos of the demo level and the experiments we're doing, um, it's come a long way, and I think we've taken a step back in the past couple weeks just to clean things up, just make sure the game flows nicely, um, and I think we've hit that. as in like now that the game itself just feels right. That was a major thing that we really want to hit, and some of the feedback we got from the demo was, yeah, there's certain things that we should work on on the basics before we start worrying about the larger aspects of the game itself. So we went back, we refined the the control scheme. How many folks working on it? It's actually, it's we got a couple 3D artists working on it, another technical artist working on it. There's me, there's another designer for UI, there's a couple devs working on it. There are people doing, social work on it, game design. So there's actually quite a lot of people. Definitely more than half of our offices is currently working on it. Yeah, definitely 6+. Definitely more than that. Yeah, it's definitely a good team. We got a good mix of individuals here and talents. Um, and it's actually like our first 3D game, so there's a lot of learning going on. Um, I myself is like have learned quite a bit. Anything from now jumping into Unity and then also learning Blender. As much as I kind of hate it, it is serving a really useful purpose, and um, I do find that whatever I have gleaned from working out in it, it's just important for the future. So it's coming along. Thanks, have a good lunch. I will remember to save and press that dang F button. Make sure everything saves along with the file. Thanks for joining me for this little bit. It's always nice to have some new people around. Come join again probably next week. You usually have like 3 or 4 streams a week, so it'd be nice if you can come back and talk to us a little bit. Enjoy your lunch. So right now I'm looking for user preferences. I need to change the way the color picker looks. Cool. If you're still around, got some good news. Apparently, if I load Blender again and go to File Recover last session, my file should be there, meaning I didn't lose my work, and then the only thing I did lose was this hour of time I am spent streaming. So hopefully everything is still there. Hopefully everything I didn't lose. Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm not gonna bother. That is some really good news I just saw, so I'm not going to stress over too much about getting this guy back to being perfect, because that might mean I just saved myself, or I guess I didn't save myself, but I got back literally almost a day's worth of work. So that's good news. Good news that, you know, there's built-in redundancies into this program. Although I still really think it's stupid that not hitting a button means your textures don't save when you actually save. Yeah, that's me. So what I am doing is just kind of working through this again and see what I like. And actually, you know what? Because there's a good chance, hey, sweet Henrik, how's it going? I'll be honest, not going too well. Only because right before I got on stream, two things happened. One, realized that I didn't press or I didn't tick off this one checkbox on Blender, so the textures didn't really save in my file. And then two, my main working computer in the office crashed, or actually just froze, so I couldn't do anything with it to see or export the file again. So right now I'm actually going back and trying to repaint the entire character all over again from basically what I've been doing for the past couple days, or day two. So the good news, if you're just joining me, is that if I just restart my computer and reopen Blender, Blender should actually say that I can recover my file, and therefore didn't lose actually what I thought I lost. So That's good. I mean, I can just continue from where I was and not have to redo it like I am doing it right now. So for now, I'm actually just redoing this on on stream for purposes of one, so we have something to show you guys and show us what we're currently working on, um, and two, just so that I could probably just get in some experimental time in here, because as much as I liked what I did um, with her, and I think it looks great, at the same time, I think that I could have done some things a bit differently. Um, so I'm going to give myself this time right now just to, lightly experiment. Meaning I might just use this time less to get the details in and more just to rethink some of the things that I thought I was done with in terms of color. Um, so things like, am I happy with the color of her backpack? Am I happy with the color of the leaves I chose? All those things are like, some of it I'm happy with, but I'm not happy with like things such as her gloves. Her boots are this yellow. She's wearing Wellington boots, very classic boots. Um, and yeah, they come in different colors, but they also are really known for having, you know, this bright yellow boot style. So we decided to go with it. The one thing I'm having trouble is that it's very limiting thematically, as in, if we have her wearing these yellow boots, that is very grounded much in reality and very much an aesthetic upon itself. And when I am trying to, paint her gloves or her shoulder pad, shoulder pads, let's so call them, I can't do anything too different in theme, like being really spacey or being really tribal, without making the gloves and shoulder pads seem like they belong on a different character, because the yellow boots itself, again, they are very much grounded in this gardening, real world aesthetic, and having something so futuristic on her hands or on her shawl, uh, whatever it be, it just sticks out and doesn't quite match. So those are the kind of things I'm like, am I limiting myself by thinking that way, or is it actually like, yeah, whenever I try to paint those items differently, they do stick out because they are very much different than her boots, and her boots and skin are the one thing. There's a couple things that I don't think will change. They are pretty much well defined at this point about what they should look like. Um, so yeah, that's just about where things lie and the simple struggles with this character so far. Um, okay, so I think I caught most of everything. I forget. I'm not really sure what this is. Oh, that's your mouth. No. So here's the basics of her again. She's pretty much colored in the most simple of colors that I think we've been working with. Right now what we don't have is the normal map on her, so we don't see some of the final topology of her, what it might look like. But yeah, so I think, again, as I said, I'm probably just going to experiment and see if I can come up with a better color scheme, because I haven't been exactly so happy just yet with the way I want her to look. The bag was one thing, the gloves. I think the bag and the gloves are two major sticking points. Like, her hair is going to be this. Actually, it's going to look kind of like this. Let's get a nice soft brush. And then turn down the strength. Because one thing we hit upon yesterday, our technical artist here, Fred, he had a good idea about blending her hair with the face, because the character herself is this jelly-like character that's semi-translucent, I was going to say, and so getting it to look like the hair is also merging with her face, like it itself is also kind of see-through, would make for an interesting visual where it just kind of blends and goes from, like, you know, transparent to, from opaque to something semi-transparent. So that's what I'm working on right now. So if I were to actually go back and, like as I said, work on finding colors that I do like, let me do that now. I think her bag's a little bit more reddish, but let me change that up. Nice hard brush, strength up. Need to find colors that kind of stick up yet. You know, work with her. There's a lot of green. I don't want things to look too unnatural either, but I guess finding a nice bright red bag is actually pretty cool. Camera. Should be gloves. I think I've gloves that cool too. And her shoulder pads. Actually, I kind of like that. The way I had it in my model before the crash was all brown. brown shoulder pads, brown gloves. But here I am actually liking this big boulder look. I might change the gloves so that they're not exactly the exact same color as the bag. But having colors that really stick out, I'm not sure what's wrong with the orange, the red, the yellow. Maybe blue. Maybe blue. Or purple. Another problem with the coloring is like the world itself is very green, and unfortunately she is green, so making her stand out is pretty important. Um, I mean, red is the complementary color, so finding something within the warm tones would be useful. Um, it's just a matter of finding something that actually works well because I'm restricted in two ways: the green over skin and the yellow over boots. Um, so finding colors that kind of work with both is a little rough. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to what I'm doing right now is so what you don't see is me. I'm on this color generation site called Coolers. So what I'm using it for right now is looking for color palettes. Um, I guess there's some kind of, or at least I hope so. There's some kind of uh, some programming behind this site so that helps choose color swatches that work well together. I mean, there's Cooler, which is from Adobe, and those ones you can set up like, do you want complementary colors? Do you want just different shades of the same color? So this one, I'm not exactly sure. It's a lot simpler, but what I did was I just locked in the three main colors that I know I'm using for the gardener, which is going to be the green of her skin, the yellow of the boots, and then the last thing was is the color of the bag, which is this. If I can zoom in a bit. Also, it doesn't help that this is like the most probably unnatural like monitor that I could be using at the moment. I find the color profile on this to be terrible, and I really shouldn't be doing much coloring on the screen anyway. But for now, I'm just using it to get a rough idea of what the colors are. So yeah, so right now what you see on screen is me recoloring this, and all I'm doing is sliding in the flats, just giving you the most basic color for the gardener, and I put that into coolers just now, and so what it's doing is spitting out any kind of complementary colors, any kind of colors that work well with the ones I've locked in, and so yeah, I'm just trying. I keep on hitting the spacebar. So I have 3 locked in. It's showing me 2 other options, and what I'm doing is trying to find another couple of colors that just work really well with this character. But I need 2 colors. One for her shoulder pads, for gloves maybe. Those are 2 things that I feel like I got to nail, and I just haven't hit it yet. Such a weird thing to be looking for shading these kind of colors. Let's see. Here's a nice one I came across. 2, 9, 2, 3, 6. See what it looks like. Pretty dark. But at the same time, those are colors that I've never thought of using something so dark on her. It's always weird to say I'm going to use dark on this color, one because she's such a cute character. I've always wanted to keep her in these bright colors. But at the same time, if this works, I'd be more than happy to be able to move on. It's looking a little charcoaly. Actually, going dark, going a bit more neutral. Not a bad color, I'd say. Something I'd still have to rethink about, at least save a version of that to consider. dark hues. Actually, that's not a bad color either. Let's see. 4, 8, 3D. 3. Alright, let's check it out. It's not bad. It's kind of like this light gray mauve color. Maybe is it mauve that color I'm thinking of? Anyhow, it's subtle. It's like green, gray, black. Yeah, sorry this session was a little off kilter. It didn't start well. I think my Friday sessions especially always have some kind of technical difficulties in them. They're literally like every single time. But I think if there's one takeaway from today, this session, and I think it is a good one good takeaway because I've been struggling with this for a while, was deciding on the color for her gloves and her shawl. And I think coming here and realizing I could go to a paint swatch generating website to help me find those colors that just suit what is already existing on her. Led me to this dark puce. Actually, I'm gonna go back, hopefully able to get my old file back in order, and hopefully I didn't lose anything. But and so if I didn't, I think I'm gonna actually give this one a shot. This one, even though it's a little bit dark, it has actually opened my eyes into the options that that I didn't think I had of going this dark, and I actually kind of like it. I think it will stand out on her. It will stand out in contrast to the rest of the world, and that's kind of one of the things we need, is just like better visual feedback. And I think this is great. You're able to see her, toss food in her hands, use her stick. So things like this, I think, going in the lighter, brighter, greener, orange, red direction, that's what I felt I had to go into. But now seeing this darker direction and seeing it in use, I think I actually might give it a shot and see if I can just tweak it a bit and see if it actually suits her in game. So yeah, it's just a little after 4. Sorry that the stream wasn't exactly the best or most more productive, but I think I actually have a good takeaway from it. So I'm actually, if anything else, I'm happy I got at least this part done, because it does kind of free up the one thing that I've been struggling with, which was color of her gloves. So I think, I got that. I'm happy with that, if anything. So thanks again, guys, for joining me on my stream. Hopefully next week, we'll see where we're at, and hope that I won't have any other technical difficulties, but by past experience, I'm going to have some literally every week. So thanks again. I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining.